Hello, everyone. I'm Greg Bradbury alongside my partners Dan Abington and Simon Williams, and welcome to Sports Broadcasting Live. Today we're going to be discussing the NBA Draft. First, let's start it with Simon. Simon, do you think Ben Simmons was the right pick for the 76ers?
I mean, this is a no-brainer decision for the Philadelphia 76ers. He's a complete player, most comparable to NBA champion LeBron James. He can play all five, defend all five. His shooting is a little bit to be desired. You know, it has no mechanical flaws. It's just he's not the best shooter. He's not a free-flowing, smooth shooter. But he can develop, I think, in time. We saw Bron do it, and look where he's at. He's doing pretty well for himself, too. This is, without a doubt, the pick the Sixers had to make.
All right, Danny, your thoughts on this pick?
You know, I actually do agree with Simon, but, you know, the Sixers, they also could have gone with Brandon Ingram. I mean, it was kind of a toss-up between the two. I do think they made the right decision there with Simmons, but Ingram's a better pure scorer, and we'll have to see which player pans out.
The problem with Ingram, though, was his size. The kid was tall, he had a 7'2 wingspan, and that's pretty cool, but he didn't have any of the muscle mass. The kid is skinnier than me, and he's in the NBA, and that's a problem. He needs to put on weight, and he hasn't, and it's difficult for him to. He's been struggling gaining weight from high school through college in his one season at Duke. And Duke's conditioning program is fairly rigorous. We saw Grayson Allen these past couple years. He's gotten a lot bigger. He's been probably the winner of the Duke conditioning program these past couple of seasons. But Brandon Ingram hasn't been able to really benefit from that. He just needs to keep hitting the weights and keep drinking those protein shakes or something. He's got to get bigger.
I definitely agree that Ben Simmons was the right pick, a once-in-a-generation player. We see Brandon Ingram in almost every year draft, just a pure scorer. But off to the next topic, who is the best sleeper in the NBA draft?
Well, honestly, St. Joseph's University Hawks, DeAndre Bembry, local Philadelphia product, he's got to be the sleeper of the draft. He's an excellent talent as a power forward. He can still shoot. He can elevate. He's got great movement across the court. He can move in the baseline. He's got great hands and footwork. Honestly, one of the best players I've seen the last couple of years, especially in Philadelphia, and a great college basketball town.
Dan?
Yeah, DeAndre Bembry was a great selection, but I also think that Timothy Luwawu for the Sixers was a fantastic pick. People have been comparing him to Andre Iguodala and saying that he's a French Iggy, and that I would love to have a player like Andre Iguodala. Great defense, really athletic. He can score when you need him to. I really think that the Sixers made the steal there.
I'd hope that with Luwawu that the comparisons with Iggy kind of just stop at role player. I don't want to have the Andre Iguodala these past few seasons towards the end of his Philadelphia career where he had to be the man. No one else around him. We had Thaddeus Young, Evan Turner. That's not really the supportive cast for Andre Iguodala as your star. We saw him make the Olympic team and start for the Golden State Warriors in the finals. He won Finals MVP. Like, he's a good player, role player. He helped off the bench, excellent off the bench, and is a great starter, but he's not the go-to guy. So Luwawu can't be the go-to guy.
Dan, why can't he be the guy?
I mean, he's not exactly a pure scorer, so the Sixers are really in need of one right now, and he's not going to provide that. And he's going to be behind, I think, Ben Simmons, as both of them are the same age, and Simmons is a much better player than Luwawu. But, I mean, Luwawu just can't really be the star on this team. He's not developed enough yet.
Luwawu, one of the many European players selected in this year's NBA draft. And lastly, let's get to NBA draft grades. Simon?
So are you asking who got the best grade for me?
Who had the best draft, you think?
Honestly, the Philadelphia 76ers won the draft in terms of picks. I do think the Oklahoma City Thunder came away with draft night having really good overall selections and some guys they made some moves with, but the Philadelphia 76ers stood out to me across the board. They had 3 selections in the first round, none in the second, which was kind of interesting in the Sam Hinkie era. He was huge with his second-round picks, but moving forward with Brian Colangelo, we just stuck with these first-round picks. But Ben Simmons, Timothy Luwawu, and Furkan Korkmaz, one of the best shooters, one of the best foreign shooters, regarded as a top 10 pick earlier this season coming out of Turkey. I mean, it was just great to see the Sixers get this international talent. I mean, 20% of the NBA is foreign players. This is where the league is going. And to get these pure shooters, these pure scorers to complement Ben Simmons as an elite forward, I can't see the Sixers doing anything wrong with the players they got.
And Dan?
Yes, Simon, I would actually completely agree with you. I mean, having 3 selections in the first round is always a great thing, but the Sixers made the 3 best possible choices. I mean, they got one of the best players that we've seen come out of the draft in a while in Ben Simmons. Luwawu is an underrated player, and then Korkmaz they're going to keep in Turkey for a little while, allow him to develop, and he's going to come over here and be a pure shooter for the Sixers. I mean, they just had a fantastic draft.
What's great about Luwawu is he's going to be able to come over within the next couple seasons. His draft and stash kind of moniker I don't think will really hold true for him. He's wanting to come over, whereas Dario Saric, we saw he signed with the Turkish league weeks before the draft, and he's just now coming over 3 years after he was drafted, and there's some issues with the buyout as we speak. But Luwawu, he's going to come in, make an immediate impact, as will Korkmaz. So honestly, Ben Simmons, Korkmaz, and Luwawu, I couldn't have picked a better spot for the Sixers.
All right, both of you guys seem to think that the Sixers had the best draft on draft night. It'll be interesting to see how the